Alrighty, I'm gonna do a little something I haven't done in a while. I had reviewed some HO turnouts by Atlas back when I had my HO layout out here, and I thought since they had just came out with the new Mark V, I would put my 2 cents in on what I think about them. I do have some older HO equipment that I've had forever. Sorry, got this new cough. That's an old, about circa 1970. I got it in Montgomery Ward, Tyco 040 shifter and tender. Anyway, I thought I'd use it because it's been over the years at HO probably one of the most finicky track engines I had because of the short wheelbase and, you know, the pickup system they had on them. But anyway, this is the new Mark V, as they call it. It's a number 4 left. And I gotta say, so far, I pulled it out of the box and set it up with some some jumpers. Frog is much better than the Mark 4s, 3s, all that. They've actually retooled it. They've actually put some guardrails on here that actually work. Because if you remember, or you've got probably, the guardrails on the ones before this one are pretty much useless without putting a shim in them. They're just too wide. And move this over. They put new points tie bar here, and this is really clean here. Where you can still use the old switch machine. That's still set up for that. Still got the little hooks to catch it right here and right here. And it's a much finer tie bar. Looks better. It's also cut. I don't know if you can see it in there, but they've notched out these rails really well for the points to fit in there. And I haven't put a file or nothing on here. I haven't even wiped it off. I just wanted to see what it'd be like without the box without doing anything to it. Anyway, I'll run this a little bit with this little shifter here. See what direction I'm going here. Of course, I'm going the wrong way. And we'll see what it does. I can kind of hold this a little more steady. Let's see. Okay, little engine you need to run. It doesn't run too bad for, you know, a Tyco engine. Well, it stopped over the Frog. Probably there may be some dirt or something in here, but hold on just a second. Let me okay, go all the way back. I'll do this again. I'm trying to do all these things with one hand. Okay, I had the what I'm doing here is it's got a little lug that you could wire the Frog with. So it's, you know, obviously you would put it to a solenoid or a switch machine to change the polarity. So I just have been sticking it on the end of the rail here in accordance to whichever direction it's going. I had it on the wrong one there. So okay, so let's do it again. Anyway, run through here. This little engine don't run too bad. It's been sitting for several years out here. I mean, that's pretty smooth for this little engine. You know, you're talking about 50s technology, or late 50s, early 60s when this engine really came out. Originally came out, it had a metal shell, and it's changed over the years when Tyco was still around. Let's go the other direction and we'll see what we got here. There's a little bit of a bump there. Just a little. I mean, but for this engine, it's done it on every switch I've ever used it on. See if I can get back a little further. But I mean, it's pretty smooth going through there. Smoother than the older versions of this switch. So what I'll do here now, this is an old, oh God, this is probably 20 years old, at least. Got it for a set when my youngest son was, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years old. I don't remember. He didn't have a lot of interest in trains, but I got it because, you know, you start off with a set thinking they might like it, but ended up just doing it under his bed. So I collected it from him and put it up. But let's see how little Thomas runs here. It's a pretty smooth little running little engine. Little bump there. Do it again. Just a little bump. Now I haven't put a file or, you know, anything to it to clean it up at all. It's straight out of the box. That's not too bad. Let me try the straight part on it. I haven't seen any reviews on this switch on YouTube, so that's why I thought I'd go ahead and do one. I know this is not super professional quality, but I work with what I got. And with the frog wired like that, it we'll stall there. There may be some junk on the wheels. This is a pretty old engine, like I said. I didn't really clean it or anything. I mean, that's not bad. I like it. I mean, let's try. Now, this is an old Tyco car that I put metal wheel sets on. Got rid of the plastic crap they had on there. And it's got one of these lifelike knuckle couplers. They don't work like a KD. They're mainly for looks. Because they really don't work on a magnet or anything. I never could get them to work, but I thought they looked better than the old horn hooks. So I put them on there. And let's see here. And that rolls through there pretty nice. Got a little bit of a incline on this table. I don't even feel a bump when it goes over the frog. Switch the track. Let's try to do this with one hand. But yeah, I mean, I don't even feel the bump when it goes through the frog. That is super slick. And in my experience though, just about any switch or turnout that you've used, if you got good wheel sets on the cars, most cars in any scale will go through the switches without a problem. It's usually the engines. Now, I don't have a big diesel or nothing to try to run through here. And I heard that the number 6s they first came out with had a problem with the points working loose here. But that's just what I heard. I'm not sure if that's true. Anyway, you could go in here with a file, maybe touch this up a little bit. I mean, this is pretty smooth. I don't see any big humps or feel any big pieces of plastic like I did on those other ones. There's a little bit right there. That metal part of that frog there is a little, raises just a little bit. That may be some of the bump. Could touch it up with a file and probably get a little bit better. You got to be careful, don't chew too much of it off though. But I like the lug they put on here. You can use a, you know, one of their relays or a, you know, a tortoise or whatever you use. Or you could even use just a toggle switch, you know, in place of something like this, and just flip the toggle switch, and then you can use, I've seen people use a micro switch, which has a hole in, you can put a hole in the plastic part of the micro switch for a throw bar, and when you throw the polarity, it also throws the switch at the same time. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. You don't have the snap action like you do with a Pico or nothing, but you know, it's a little cheaper. This one, price-wise, $27. I mean, I got a discount on it. The hobby shop I go to. I mean, that's pricey to me. I mean, you get over $20 for a turnout, and it's, you know, of course I know now the economy we're in right now, that's probably not a bad price. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with prices on this stuff, but now I'm starting to see $30 and $35 HO box cars, which I thought was insane. When you could pick up an Athearn kit for, you know, $5. But you know, that's just the way things are now. But anyway, yeah, I mean, what's cool about this is if you got some of the old Atlas track plan books and you were weary of the Atlas turnouts, then I'm pretty impressed with this one. It's pretty nice. I mean, pretty slick, smooth. Like I said, I hadn't filed it or anything, and it did real well. I mean, with the stuff I've got. I'm sure if you have a diesels usually run through just about anything like a freight car, unless it's like a 12 axle diesel. I have heard that those can have some fits on certain switches, you know, but anyway, like I said, I don't feel any major burrs or humps or anything, but you know, like I said in the other video, you've got to smooth this stuff off a little bit of maintenance on switches, because they're just not perfect. They never will be, because they're mass produced. But I do like these guardrails. They actually pull the wheels away from the point of the frog, which I think that's one of the reasons it's smoother now. And that is a much tighter frog than the older one, so I wish I had an old one here to compare it to. But you can look at the other video. And the other video, that one wasn't too bad, but this is much better. As far as the quality of holding up, who knows, you know. I had a problem with one of them where the switch point was dead here in this joint. This rail was not getting power. But who knows with these, I don't know how they've got this set up under there. But the reason I got this too is at some point I want to build one of those John Allen time saver switching games. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's you have like 5 turnouts and so many magnets on the on a little, I don't know, looks like about a 1x4 foot area. And all you're doing is seeing how many times, the least amount of times you can switch cars, and whoever gets the least amount of times of switching the cars and the least amount of moves wins. So I thought it'd be something fun to have inside the house, because all my other stuff's out here in the shed. It'll give me something to play with in there too. I don't feel like coming out here. And but anyway, I haven't done nothing in HO in a while. It takes a while to reorient yourself to the size. But and there's my mess going on right now. I also got this power pack too that I was using a while ago. I've never heard of these people. I picked it up pretty cheap on eBay. Chicago Model International. This is a big old honking pack, and it's got enough power for G. So I've been using it for my DC engines on my layout too. Some of them really like this power pack, some of them don't. It's just a trial and error thing, but it's got momentum and all that. I've never heard of these people, but I took a chance and bought it, and I've been real happy with it so far. It's a nice pack, it's nice and heavy, and it's got a lot of power. That's what I was using over here with this. So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say about that. Like I said, I'm not using the greatest equipment in the world to test this with, but that engine here, this is really finicky. And if it went through there without a problem, then newer stuff shouldn't have a problem at all. But anyhow, alrighty, I guess that's all for now. If you got any questions, just post something on the comments, and I'll see. I probably forgot to tell you something, but like I said, geometry, it's the same exact footprint as the old number 4s, which is awesome to me that they have finally redone these. Let's hope they hold up. You know, it's always a quality thing now that everything's made in China. And old Atlas used to be made in America for years and years. And the old stuff, the old track, you can find it on eBay. It's good stuff. Good, different, probably a higher quality nickel silver. But I don't know. Anyhow, all for now.